Listen up, Chicago. We are the charter franchise, the city of broad shoulders, and right now, the NFL is trying to play us for fools. You won't believe the absolute disrespect coming out of New York today against our beloved Bears. This is personal, and it's a direct shot at the integrity of the game we built. I need every single member of the Monsters of the Midway to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell right now. We need to stay united against this league-wide circus. Don't miss a single update on this developing war. Matt Ryan is officially the reason the Chicago Bears are being robbed of their draft capital, according to a pathetic ruling by the league office. The NFL just dropped a Friday news dump that is so laughably misguided it makes your head spin. They officially shot down the Bears' appeal for those third-round compensatory picks we were owed for losing Ian Cunningham to the Falcons. The league claims that because Matt Ryan was hired as president in Atlanta, he is the chief football executive, even though Ryan himself says that is not his job. The NFL is using a technicality to gaslight the entire city of Chicago. They are essentially calling our former QB the boss just to avoid following their own Rooney Rule. Cunningham is the one making the trades, signing the free agents, and running the draft room, while Matt Ryan is basically a high-priced team mascot in a suit. George McCaskey and Kevin Warren actually traveled to New York to fight this face-to-face, but the league doubled down on their own stupidity. It is a total lack of respect for the franchise that literally invented this league. They chose a loophole over the intent of the law they created. They tell us they care about equitable hiring, then they run away the second it costs them a couple of draft picks. It is sleazy, it is calculated, and it is a slap in the face to everything the Bears stand for. But here is the real kicker that no one is talking about yet. While the league thinks they won by keeping those picks away from us, ownership knows something they don't. There is a hidden victory here that is worth way more than a third-round selection, and when you hear what George McCaskey said behind closed doors, you will realize the Bears just took the moral high ground, while the NFL sank into the swamp. The fallout from this isn't just about 2026, it is about the very future of how minority executives are treated across the entire map. Are the Bears being punished for actually doing the right thing? The numbers behind this decision are absolutely staggering, and they reveal a dark truth about the league's actual priorities. Wait until you see how this affects our draft board and the secret message it sends to every executive in the NFL. Ian Cunningham is the man caught in the middle of this league-wide fiasco, and frankly, he deserved better from the NFL. The Bears spent years developing Ian into one of the brightest front office minds in football. We recruited him, we created a specific role for him, and we allowed him to work hand-in-hand with Ryan Poles to rebuild this roster from the ground up. He flourished here in Chicago. When Atlanta came calling, it was a clear promotion to be their general manager, which usually triggers the Rooney Rule compensatory picks. However, the league decided to hide behind the hiring of a former player to deny us those assets. It is a complete betrayal of the rule's intent. George McCaskey has been incredibly classier than the league deserves, even though his grandfather George Halas practically carried the NFL on his shoulders during its infancy. McCaskey tried to see the big picture at the owners' meetings, but the league rewarded that grace with gaslighting. They keep repeating the lie that the executive structure in Atlanta makes the Bears ineligible, ignoring the reality of who actually has the final say on the roster. The Falcons are the big winners here because they get a GM trained in Baltimore, Philly, and Chicago, while the Bears get nothing, but a thank you note from a league that doesn't respect them. Ian Cunningham himself spoke out, noting that as a black man, there is still significant work to be done for grassroots diversity. He's going to be intentional with his platform, but it's hard to ignore that the league just incentivized teams to find loopholes rather than rewards. The Bears did the right thing by giving him supervisory duties and training him to be a leader. We made him ready for the big stage, and now the league is essentially punishing us for our success and development. It's a skanky move that uses a loophole to ignore a noble effort. While fans are rightfully fuming over the lost picks, there is a sense of pride in Halas Hall. We prove that we identify and cultivate elite talent regardless of the doggy biscuits the NFL hands out. But the question remains, what does this do to our current draft strategy? The numbers behind this robbery are enough to make any Bears fan want to scream. By losing those third-rounders, we are looking at a draft board that now sits at picks number 25, 57, 60, 89, 129, 238, and 240. That is 7 picks, but we should have had more ammo in the top 100. When you look at the stats of minority hiring across the league, the picture gets even uglier. Currently, 75% of the players are black, but only 10% of head coaches are. there are 0 black owners. The Rooney Rule was meant to bridge that gap by rewarding teams like the Bears for producing guys like Ian Cunningham. By denying these picks, the NFL is effectively telling every other team that developing minority talent might not be worth the investment if a loophole can be found. It is a dangerous precedent. Scenario 1. The Bears use this as fuel. We have seen this team thrive with an us against the world mentality. Ryan Poles is a master of the board, and even without those extra thirds, he has enough capital at 57 and 60 to make a massive move. Scenario 2. This leads to a formal grievance that shakes the league office. If the Bears push back harder, it could force Roger Goodell to actually fix the language of the rule before the 2027 cycle. Scenario 3. Other teams start using the Atlanta model. Imagine every team hiring a retired star player as a president just to block compensatory picks for their rivals. It would turn the front office hiring process into a complete joke. The league says the rule isn't going anywhere, but if they don't follow it, does it even exist? The data shows that the Bears have one of the most progressive and successful front office development pipelines in the country. We are standing far above where the NFL is hiding right now. We are noble and proper while they are playing games in the shadows. The impact on our 2026 depth chart is real, but the impact on the league's reputation is permanent. If they can do this to a charter franchise like Chicago, they can do it to anyone. We have to look at the draft value we lost and realize that Poles now has 0 margin for error in those middle rounds. The pressure just spiked through the roof for this scouting department. This is absolute trash from Roger Goodell and the league office. You cannot tell me with a straight face that the league cares about diversity when they willfully ignore their own rules to save a few draft picks. It is deceitful and it is sleazy. The Bears did everything right. We identified Ian Cunningham, we gave him the keys, and we watched him blossom into a GM. To have the league gaslight us by saying a retired quarterback with 0 front office experience is the chief football executive is an insult to our intelligence. It is a news dump designed to hide cowardice. My insider take? The NFL is terrified of the precedent of giving out too many picks, and they picked the Bears to bully because they think George McCaskey will just take it. But they forgot one thing. Chicago never forgets. This move doesn't just hurt our draft, it hurts the integrity of the NFL's moral high ground. They look like hypocrites because they are hypocrites. We are the ones who stood by our principles without a reward. We rise above this. But don't let anyone tell you this was a fair process. It was a rigged game from the start, and the NFL should be ashamed of themselves for using Matt Ryan as a shield to screw over the Chicago Bears. We are building a dynasty based on character, something the league office clearly knows nothing about right now. It's time to play angry. The NFL can take our picks, but they can't take our pride. We are the Chicago Bears, and we keep our heads high while the league hides in loopholes. This team is bigger than a Friday news dump. We are building something special at Halas Hall, and if the league wants to play dirty, they better be ready for the storm coming their way this season. But I want to hear from you, the best fans in the world. Are you as fired up as I am about this draft pick robbery? Do you think the NFL is being flat-out racist with these loopholes, or is this just business as usual in a corrupt league? Drop your comments below and let your voice be heard. We need to make some noise so loud they hear it in New York. Make sure you subscribe to the channel right now if you haven't already. Join the family, smash that like button, and share this video everywhere. We are the voice of the Bears, and we aren't going anywhere. Stay tuned for the next update because this fight is just getting started. Bear down forever, Chicago. See you in the next one.